New Small Business Grants 2023 and beyond. What are they? How do they work? How do you get into them? As well as I will be revealing my number one way of getting funding for startups and non-startups without documents, with 0% interest for 6 to 18 plus months, as well as alternatives to that, things that you haven't seen or you have but are unsure about, or when you should get started. Hi, welcome in. My name is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm a business funding expert, business loan broker expert, as well as pre-underwriter/underwriter who's been able to help a lot of people acquire the right type of grant and the right type of funding overall to continue to move forward longer term, a strategic partnership and roadmap for longer term. I don't do things transactionally, short term. You might need something for now, but then what happens as you move forward? I will be there to help you without over promising and under delivering. I do not overwhelm. And let me give you a little bit about why me, in case you're wondering. For one, I'm a very introverted person. I'm more quiet and reserved, analytical, cerebral, mindful, overanalyze a lot, at times overthink if I have to, depending on the situation of it. I'm very loyal, if that says anything. I'm a Libra. I value integrity, loyalty, honesty, trustworthiness, community, fitness, a lot of other things too. And I have the right vision and mission that I believe that I'm on, that I have been on, gotten to, as well as continue to increase more of it, give back into the community, and really care for you as an individual, as a human being. First, you as a person, who are you in your health and relationships, helping you, as well as in your wealth of your personal side. And then how does that translate into the business? Character matters to me immensely, and I've worked on personal development, not that I've been bad, but as an entrepreneur who runs multiple businesses, I understand how well this really helps to have this refined and focused and strong so somebody can't break you down. And I've always had this. I just had to build it even more. And I've always had this here, not genetically gifted, although I played sports. I played Division I soccer. I studied a little bit of sociology, and then I got into chemical engineering. I know, two different spectrums, but I'm a very math and system person, and I did that for some time, chemistry being my favorite class. That's kind of what propelled me into it, and then the math. And then I had to make a big decision. So I then got into the business side, and then I got through that in that degree because I wanted to start a business. So that was a big decision, and it was the right one. Didn't get into business right away, done construction, manufacturing, and then actually the field positions, not just like working the cubicle space and just giving like all the data to be looked at. No, I was actually out into the field, going to job sites. It wasn't even my thing, but you live and you learn. Not everything in life is linear, and I'm so happy that I learned a lot of that. Not for being unstable, that wasn't it. I was figuring a lot of things out. I worked in manufacturing where I was in a machine, pumping out the tooling, putting cast irons in, molds in them. Eventually, I got into doing that chemical stuff, looking at blueprints eventually, and doing a lot of stuff that was hands-on, getting my hands dirty with the oil, refilling it with more oil, cutting things down with the grinder, the wire that I would have to put in through the pipe, a few things. So I did a bit of that, and eventually I got into financial logistics. The company went down under. I had to go back on unemployment benefits, food stamp cards. It was the worst, one of the worst times, and I'll get into that why. Not only because I went back into, not for my own wrongdoing, because people were relieved for a huge contracting company servicing HP&P cells, so it was big, but I was underpaid, underpromised, or overpromised, underdelivered, and I couldn't move up another role. And I was there for a lot of stability. And the company went down under, but I was preparing before that. But back to food stamps and unemployment benefits, I couldn't even lock eyes with the person at the register. It was hard for me to do, being introvert as I am, or even if you're not, it was hard. But then walking out very grateful and thankful, but just knowing I'd have to come back again. And that was hard for me to do. At times I would look at them, but it was hard for me to do that. And for how I felt, my status and everything. And then going out for a meal, I didn't always give 100%. Even if it was 50-50, it was hard for me. Even when I could give, I didn't want to. And even just a little bit of my portion, it was hard. And I felt guilty even for going out to meals and just going out with family and friends at times. And that just felt bad. And so I didn't want to continue to let my family down, even if they didn't think I was a burden. It felt like that to me. I've never been bad. Like I said, it's just things happen in life out of your control. at times. But at that moment, the reason I didn't go back into the work is because I was given an opportunity to build a business. Started one with the digital marketing agency, lead generation business, eventually got into the health affiliate marketing, helping people with vitamins and supplements, and then also other ventures. And this has been my passion project. I don't do it for the money, but a lot of people turn to me because of who I am. And I know my stuff. I'm an expert in what I do. I'm in this market more than anything, and those other ones are outsourced. So I won't be here to pressure you, bombard you. It's usually a characteristic trait that I deal with people that gets in their way. I've fine-tuned things, and I'm not perfect, but I've fine-tuned things, and I have an above average standard. And so the thing is, when it comes to these grants, I'm going to get into them right now actually. Just understand that they are not always going to be exclusive. You don't always need to get one of these and that's it. Think about how you can combine funding or do something else that is not a grant, because grants can take some time. So if you try to do like SBA microloans, those can take time with Action or Kiva or a few other ones, and those take times, and even you can have bad credit to apply for those. And that's also a big reason why people go for grants, is because of their credit issues. And not only credit, they're just getting started. They don't want to have cash flow taken, or they don't want to have their operational cash flow restricted. They don't want to have their free cash flow taken from them, and they're trying to invest into new leases or purchasing property, or there's more inventory that they need to purchase, and there's going to be a sporadic amount of months. They're unsure about what ROI they're going to get from this. There's a lot of reasons why you need a grant. Those are just some of them, but I'm going to go on and on about that. Let's just go ahead and go into some of these. So I have my screen up open here, and I wanted to do it this way in this format so you know that this is very authentic, and not just because of that. I want you to make sure you also get something like this in your hand. So down below in the description, I've made video on this, content on this before, excuse me. There's my introvert part. I'm not much of a video person. I'm more of a writer. But down below in the description, there will be a questionnaire form where you can pick up about a 900 grant list, a document that's usually being updated, more or less 900, not always the case. But you can have this in your hands, and what I'm going to be going through, a lot of people have picked this up, and it is going to be in your best benefit to do this, whether you apply for them or not, whether you qualify for them or not, or you take on other options. Why? Because when you fill out this questionnaire form, it'll be down below. It's not going to be just like this. You got to opt in. Name and email usually is what I'm asking for. I won't bombard you. You will get educational content from me. A lot of people love it. Trust me, you're going to get this. And if you see it, if you have the vision, if you have the perspective of why you're getting content like that from me, and you think about it correctly, you're already on the right path. And so you're going to fill out this questionnaire form. You can get a huge grant documentation list, not just my general one. I have a document that has a little bit, like 20 or so, but this is a larger one, and rotating and being updated month to month. A lot of people jumping on it. I see a lot of people on it right now, I could tell. And that's what you want to pick up. So fill out the questionnaire, and you'll also get a free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist to show you how to go into the actual funding application, what you should do before, what you should know about. So pick that up. It'll be down below, questionnaire, and I'm going to put together a very highly personalized and customized email response on your best funding option and options, showing you funding options that aren't even publicly released, or things that they wouldn't share with you publicly a lot of the time. So it's in your best interest to pick that up, and I'll give you the 900 plus or so grant list in that, and more resources on credit, cash flow, collateral. It's going to be really good. So here I have one with this is, whether they're new or not is besides the case. When you're always looking for a new grant, you're always chasing something. You're always chasing something that was closed and then opened up again, or something new came in. It's not always that you see something completely new. It could be from the same organization, but just different subsets of that program, or different community organizations coming together underneath one platform. And at times you do see new ones, but here's one that will end on December the 16th of this year of 2023 when you're watching this. So if you're watching this in 2024, there will be already new ones out, and there already could be some right now to check out. But here, this is one with the Keep It Local Business Fund. These are micro grants for small businesses. So if I click here, there's going to be an apply now button. And if you need help with putting like a grant proposal together and things like that, I help people with as well. But that's one of the grants here that's offered. And I'm not going to go through each specific detail and requirement of them, of how you can use them, because each one is specific. And a lot of them are general, like for payroll, for any working capital, for equipment perhaps. You can use it for inventory. You can use it for a lot of other reasons. There's a lot more I can just go into, but for time, I'm going to keep moving on this. So this is the Advancing Climate Tech and Clean Energy Leaders Program for up to $25,000 with BIPOC funders. And then you would click here. You would learn more about it. And if there's anything that's changed, or if there's an extra link for you to check out, there is that as well. So organize, run, and evaluate entrepreneurship programs on Unoodle Compete. It's kind of a weird couple of words, one after the next. Showcase your program, collect applications, and there's a little bit more details there. There's also the Galaxy Grants. This is a mission to help women and minority entrepreneurs succeed throughout their small business journey by providing important resources, tools, funding, and knowledge. And this is up to $2,500 in a Galaxy Grants giveaway. That's the key word, giveaway. So here, there's a form on the right, and on the left hand, I'm seeing $2,500 Galaxy Grant giveaway. Enter for a chance to win their $2,500 Galaxy Grant, brought to you by Hidden Star, a 501c3. So 501c3, if you're looking at nonprofits, if you're looking at an organization that way that's set up, you can look at that. If you're already looking at CDFIs, this would be a great option as well. And what you're trying to do with CDFIs, that's another route. I'm not going to get into all of that. Very rarely do you see people really getting picked up and getting funded through them, unless you're in a lower like income, more, it's not always low income, but it's harder nowadays to just get approved for a lot of these, just so you know. And then if you're competing with people, it only makes it a lot harder. So Galaxy Grants only take 30 seconds to enter. Deadline to enter is the 16th of December, and the winners will be announced the following week. Send this to a friend. If they win, you both win. Each of you will receive a $2,500 grant. Terms and conditions, they do apply. Please read for more details. So it'll have this on the form from your email all the way down to grant entry terms and conditions. And then you would check off here, I agree to the terms and conditions, and you would click enter. And you can see more down here on the reviews of what people are saying in a galaxy of stars. You can watch those and go through them, previous winners, and then it'll give you the amount that they got from the state that they received it. And then let's go into another one. And then this grant documentation too, that's updated. We'll also have ones on like in general business grants. You have women grants, felon friendly, emergency grants, grant resources. You have agricultural. You have a lot of them by state for trucking, for other organizations as well. And it varies on those too. So over here, you see, here, let me go and find one that I was looking at earlier. And there's a lot of them through like the Hello Alice program, and there are a few other ones through like the Skip Grant that comes and goes. But here in 2024, I wanted to pick up this one. So this is the NAAC Growth Grant up to $4,000. So I'm going to click on this one, and there will be more information for you to check out. But need $4,000 to help your business grow. Apply for a business development grant from NSAE worth up to $4,000. If you're a member, you can log in. And you could, with a disclaimer, but receive up to $4,000 for your small business through the NSCE Growth Grants Program. Since 2006, there's a little bit of history there that it goes into, how they are awarded, when is the application deadline, when that will be done, and then will be reviewed, and what time frame, the eligibility requirements to be eligible. Annual members, you're going to have to be a member in good standing. Like, think about it as like a community credit union or a top tier bank. And not all community credit unions are always that focused, but the following members, you have annual members, veteran members, silver members that you're paying annually with them, and also gold members. The following members can then apply after 90 days of membership, which are monthly members. You have silver members that are paying monthly, which was on the list that we went into previously. The selection criteria, this is the criteria that they're using for awarding grants. Review of identifiable business need and needs. This is huge, especially when it comes to like SBA type of stuff. That's what I'm going to ask for, but this isn't that. Detailed use of the proceeds of the grant, the potential of the grant to satisfy the identified business, and the potential impact of the grant on overall business growth and success. What a lot of grant organizations want to, by the way, is showing and demonstrating how you can spread the word for them, as well as how you will impact your community by them allowing you to use their money. And so giving that away, that's something very important that they look at. And then sharing this and making this something you can spread with others, and just being precise about how you use your funds at the end of the day. How long should a business plan be goes into that. The responsibilities if you're chosen, how when checks are used, are funds received taxable. You'll learn a little bit more of that there. But let's go into another one over here. If I click on states, there's nonprofits, there's also beauty, there's more of them. But since I'm in Washington, I'm going to go to that one. Elevator music. So there's plenty of them in here. So I'm going to scroll through some of these, but a lot of them expire if you're going to see per state in most cases. The state small business initiative programs too, you might see that as well. So just keep that on the back of your mind. And then over here, more so expirations. I gotta move this up here. Okay. Another one for like retail, there's the Restore Retail Grant. You'll learn more about it when you come in here. But these come and they go. It was a past deadline on this one. That was changed as well. But you see the location, the status, the size, industry, eligible criteria. For commercial location under 25,000 contagious square feet or standalone entertainment value with capacity more than 1,100 permanent seats. So there's a lot more of those little grants. Other resources you can go through is like a grants.gov site and find a whole list of them. I've already created content on this. I might leave it down below in the description how you can use that. But grants.gov is another one. Typing in grants in my area is another one. But going through the grants.gov sites really ensures the eligibility and the credibility of them a lot of the time. So there's more resources here. Let me move over here to these. But there are plenty of them. I'm not going to go through all of the lists, and a lot of them expire. A lot of them come new. A lot of them just passed. But if I were to, we'd be here for a long time. Just know that new grants, they come and they go. They're continuous, or the deadline appears and they come back up the next year. They might take about a month or 1 to 3 months, maybe over the span of a 6 month or 12 month. Then they come back a lot of the times within those time periods. Other times they just close it up and stop the application process because they want to completely revisit their structure and change things and try to be more appealing to probably a better or a higher developmental community, something like that that's more focused. They do that as well. But that's what I'm going to leave you with. All this information, if you want to pick up this free 900 or so grant documentation list, more or less as it gets updated, the amount probably fluctuates by the time you get it. But I'll leave it down below in the questionnaire form for you to fill out. So fill out the questionnaire form first. The circumstances might change over time, but that's where you want to begin. Fill out that questionnaire form. You're also going to get a free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist. So you're not questioning and making mistake after mistakes, going to the wrong provider, the wrong tier of source. But the other option too, when we're trying to get grants, is to try to combine that with like 0% interest business credit cards for 6 to 18 months. And we could do what's called credit card stacking. If you have the right credit, usually good credit, it's like 700 above in all 3 consumer credit bureaus. If not, you can get a credit partner to assist. But we can do multiple business credit cards at 0% interest, so you can get started as a startup, as a non-startup as well, without documents, without bank statements, without tax returns, just proof of business, articles of organization, EIN, things like that. Copy of the front and back of your driver's license, little things like that. It's based off of projected revenue and things like that. You can list on household income and or not. And there's other circumstances you can put on there. But there's also personal term loans, personal lines of credit. There are other forms of credit-backed solutions. You might look at a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, a home equity loan. And there's other situations there, but the credit card stacking is a great one. You can add on this or just go to the credit card stacking alone if you have good credit. If you don't, use a credit partner. Is there somebody else in your business that owns part of the business, at least 10%, that can guarantee the credit cards and is willing to do that? Put that on theirs to help out you in the business as well as everybody. Is there somebody that's not a part owner of the business to any capacity? Maybe they're from the outside. We're going to look at a personal loan, or they have their own business that they can help by securing business credit cards, but under their entity, but helping you. There's other instances that help 401k, IRA financing, and more. So that is all for now in this video. Look down below in the description to get started. And if you want to work with somebody who, I don't pressure anybody, but I'm very punctual and disciplined, and I value feedback immensely. If you guys go quiet on me, that tells me all I need to know about you as a person. And I'm not one to judge anybody at all. I don't do that. But it shares with me a lot. It shows with me, who the person really is. Because if you can't allow for feedback, if you're not on things, I get you're busy as a business owner. I have multiple businesses. But when I tell somebody I'm going to do it, they don't have to ask me when I'm going to submit it. I'll even tell them, or I'll tell them I'll have it over to you by tomorrow morning. Or I'll have it over to you in the next couple of days. I have a few things now, or something came up. Hey, it's Michael, something came up, but I will have this over to you soon. Or I have this over to you by the end of the day or by tomorrow. With me, you don't have to worry about me telling you that or having to ask that. When you know me, you know I get something done because of my actions. I don't speak a lot, I show it. But a lot of people are this. And if you're not that, prove it. If you are this, but you show it, prove it. And loyalty, again, is what matters to me. Energy and time. At the end of the day, when I leave, I want to make sure I can give enough energy and time to my family and devote that. Not having to feel tired laying on a bed, thinking about Joe or Sally who took up so much and they shouldn't have had to do that. I didn't have to tell them that, but a way that they went about it wasn't constructive or they thought it was. But like, I want to make sure that we are all at the end of the day in the right headspace and that we have to relax. We relax, take a nap, that's fine and all. But I don't want to be exhausted to the brink of where I think about this and I go, it's just too much. I can't do this anymore, or I'm going to have to do more on the front end to have people do that because it's becoming chaotic. And so I want to make sure we all have that at the end of the day and that understanding that, like I said, I'm just very nice and don't mistake my kindness for weakness though. And that's where I'm going to leave it at. If you haven't, or no, I should say take 4. This was a movie, take 4. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with others who you feel will find value from it. It can be a complete stranger, a friend, or a family member. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate you doing that. Click the bell notification icon so you do not miss any future grant videos. Not only grant videos, but anything more I'll be coming out with on all types of funding, other situations to help your business grow and expand, build, get out of a tight pinch, and much more. Again, look down below in the description for that questionnaire form to get started if you want a huge list of grants. And if you already have done that, you'll know that as I got back to you. If I haven't because I've been busy, that happens. But the opportunity cost of working with an expert is there, and I usually will get back to people as fast as I can. Okay? So that is everything from me. Appreciate you for tuning in. Again, down below in the description to get started, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.